So in this video, I'm going to go through one of the main reasons why you are struggling to sign clients for your agency. I promise you, this one concept right here can literally change the trajectory of your client acquisition. If you're only signing one client every month, or maybe one client every 2 months, or maybe 3 clients every 2 months, but you want to get more consistent meetings booked and obviously then subsequently sign more clients at a higher rate, right? Sign 3, 4, 5 clients every single month. It's probably because of this reason that I'm going to explain right here in this video. So I highly recommend you stick around because I think it's something I've not seen anybody else talk about, but it's been truly one of the fundamental and most pivotal things that I've implemented into my OPS, which is my outbound prospecting system. And it literally changed the trajectory of, the amount of meetings we generate and the amount of clients that we sign through outbound prospecting specifically, which is simply email outreach, Instagram outreach, LinkedIn outreach, whatever it is. This concept that I'm going to describe here in a minute is going to change the trajectory on any medium, whether you're using Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, email, or whatever it is. It's essentially going to drastically increase your meeting book percentages from your outreach. Now guys, as always, just before we jump into the video, make sure you go ahead, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. The information that I'm literally going to be giving you for free in this video has the ability to generate you an extra 3, 4, 5 clients every single month, which obviously consequently results in a couple $100,000 a year extra to your bottom line just from the information I'm giving to you in this video completely for free. All I ask in return is that you take a split second to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, let's jump straight into it. So one of the most important things to outreach and anything really that you do in your business is to give yourself the best chance possible. If you're only putting in 50% of the effort, or you're only doing 50% of the work, or whatever it is, how can you expect to get 100% of the results? It's physically, it just mathematically does not add up, which means you're not going to get 100% of the results. You need to be making sure that you're putting in and you're doing the things that give you the best possible chance of getting 100% of results. Now, how does this apply to the concept of signing more clients, getting more meetings booked, and obviously, as I say, subsequently signing more clients? Well, if you're only doing something that's really only going to appeal to 10 to 20% of the people that you're reaching out to, your system overall, your prospecting system, your outreach system, and all that type of stuff, if you're only doing things that's only going to appeal to 10 to 20% of the brands that you're reaching out to, how can you expect to increase your meeting book percentage? If the absolute best number you can hit is a 1% or a 0.5% meeting book rate, how can you expect to increase that to 3%? It's physically impossible. Now, what do I mean by this? How are you right now with your current system and whatnot? How are you only like appealing to 1-2% of the market, if that, right? Well, it's because you probably right now have some sort of system that looks like this, right? This is how everybody's been taught, and this is what you need to do in order to go from 0 to 10K a month, right? If you're trying to go from 0 to 10K per month right now, this is pretty much all you need to do. This is what I've done. This is what students inside of Quantum Leap Ecom Agency do, and it works tremendously well. This is exactly what I did to get to 10,000 per month, right? You've got a 4-part email sequence, you got a 5-part email sequence, you got a 6-part email sequence, whatever it is, that's completely fine. Now, my point in saying this is that you overall, right, have got a 4-part email sequence. Now, this can get you to 10,000 a month. This can get you to 5,000 a month. This can get you to 6 figures overall. This very, very easily can get you to. Now, the goal of each of these emails, obviously, is to get the prospect to take the desired action of what you want. Now, whatever that may be, I mean, you've got obviously booked call, right? You've got just a general reply. Maybe you ask them a question. How's your what's your current numbers on your advertising right now? Whatever you couple that CTA with, whichever email you couple that CTA with. If it's just a general reply, you're trying to get them to tell you we're currently at 4 ROAS at 500 a day spend, right? Okay, so the goal of obviously that email is just a simple reply, and then you've got maybe you want them to respond for a Loom video, right? So then that sets you up to send over a detailed Loom video going through their current ads and why they really need you, because their current strategy is horrific and they're leaving a myriad of money on the table and all that type of stuff, right? You're trying to get them to reply to say yes to this Loom video. Now that's the most common CTAs that I see. That's the most common that I talk about, because this is kind of just what works best. Now with these emails, you're obviously going to try and warrant that action from these emails. Now, to be honest, It's not that hard, right? To get 10 people to respond saying yes to these CTAs, or to get 10 people to book in a call or whatever it is, right? It's really not that hard, which is why I say, this is the exact reason why I say going from 0 to 10,000 a month with your agency, 0 to 5,000 a month, 0 to 8,000 a month, 6 figures, right? Using that strategy right there, it's very, very simple, because you really only need maybe 20 people, right, to say yes to booking a call, because then, 20 people booking in a call, you sign 3 or 4 of those out of that 20, not the best closing rate in the world, but it's, achievable. Then you got 3-4 clients, and that's probably going to be that definitely should be a 5,000 a month agency, probably nearing the 10,000 a month agency. Now, the issue comes in the way of going to 100,000 a month. Right? That is where the true issue lies. And why I say that is because now we're not trying to get 100,000 a month. We're not trying to get 20 meetings booked. This just does not do anything for us at that point. It doesn't do anything for us. Trying to go to 100,000 a month, we're trying to get, minimum, right? Minimum 20 meetings a month, right? Bare minimum 20 per month. Now, in order to get 20 meetings per month, you're going to have to start to, ramp up your operations, and you're going to have to start to, really get a lot of replies come through, right? A lot of replies come through, people asking, people querying about, your service and whatnot. You try and get them to go to a book call, but sometimes people don't instantly book in a call, which is completely fine. But you need to have the back end in place to handle the replies, and to, basically have an entire back end system where you can handle the leads that are coming through. Because, if you don't keep up with the leads, then you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. We all often talk about leaving money on the table for clients. Almost every single agency owner that I speak to inside of, I take a lot of calls for Centurion Agency, which is basically my program to get to 100,000 a month with your agency. And almost every single person that hops on one of those calls with me, the biggest issue I see is that they themselves are leaving a bunch of money on the table. They're like, why am I not hitting 20 meetings a month? Why can't I get to 20 meetings a month? I don't understand. Well, first things first, it's because of just this sole concept right here. If you take one thing away from this video, it's this idea right here, right? So you've got your 4-part email sequence, which is what got you to 10,000 a month, and that is amazing. Now, big issue, as I say, that I see is that, for example, if a prospect goes through this sequence, so they receive email 1, right? They receive email 2, they receive email 3, and they receive email 4. They go through this sequence right here. And if they don't book in a call, right? They don't book in a call from email 1, they don't do the desired action from email 2, email 3, or email 4, then my question to every agency owner who's wanting to get to 100,000 a month, right, is what happens to that lead? Because you've gone through the process of lead sourcing, or your team has gone through the process of lead sourcing that lead, finding the information, qualifying the brand. And the reason they're going through this process right here, the reason they're, that you've injected them into your OPS, your outbound prospecting system, is because they're a good client. So just because they don't respond to this email sequence, what do you do with them, right? It's a really, really important question to ask yourself. Now, if you are trying to get to 100,000 a month and your answer to that question is, I just move on, or I just, I keep them in the CSV for a later date, but that's kind of it, right? The next week we just inject another 500 leads into this sequence, and hopefully we get a meeting booked. If that's your answer to that question, I mean, you're only going to be able to get to this stage here, right? You're only really going to be able to hit maybe 20 a month if you're lucky, probably, 20K a month to 30K a month if you're lucky, right? That's probably going to be your cap in terms of your agency income and stage, right? Probably 20, 30K if you're doing like this at a high level. However, if you're wanting to get to 100,000 a month, then this is how your client acquisition system needs to change. And this is what first of all, this is what nobody talks about. And it's the one thing that I see holding most agency owners back, right? Is you can still have your 4-part email sequence, but on each email, you want to send them out, right? Or at least you want to push them, obviously, to your desired CTA, right? If you can get somebody to book in a call directly from your emails, then that is the absolute best case scenario. Now, one thing you need to realize, right, is that the best case scenario doesn't always happen. It happens maybe, 1 to 3% of the time, right? 1 to 3% of the time, somebody will book in a call directly from the email, and that is amazing. You get a 1 to 3% meeting book rate. I see 3%. Students inside of Centurion Agency are now really seeing as I say, a 3% as well, right here on the meeting book rate, and that's super ideal. But what you need to realize is that there is a bunch more people going through this process who also have the ability to book in a call, and who also are great clients to bring on board to get amazing results and whatnot. So yeah, well done. You're booking a 3% meeting book rate here, or for most of you out there, running your agency, it's probably like a 0.5 to a 1% meeting book rate directly from your email. So that's not ideal, right? If you're getting a 3% meeting book rate, that's okay, because it's you're doing well. You could be getting a 6% meeting book rate if you set up what I'm about to go through here in a minute, but a 3%, that's pretty healthy. Now, if you're getting a 0.5 to a 1% or below 1%, or even, to be honest, below 2%, that's really not good, and you need to implement on this. And this is why your outbound prospecting is not working. It's why you're not hitting the ideal meeting book rates. It's because you're only having 4 touch points entirely with that specific prospect, right? You're from end to end with this specific prospect, you are only having 4 touch points in total. Now, research, right? But the research has backed this claim up right here. It takes 20 to 50 touch points to convert a complete cold prospect into a paying client. 20 to 50. Now, going back to what I said at the original, what I said at the start of the video, if you are doing something, right, if you're only putting 50% of the effort in, you're only doing 50% of the process, whatever it is, of the system, you cannot expect 100% of results. In this case, if you're only doing what is going to generate you a 0.5 to a 1% meeting book rate, there's no way you can expect a 5% meeting book rate and above. It's physically impossible. You're never going to hit it. And this is the exact reason. You're only doing, right, you're only having 4 touch points. 4 touch points, with the prospects that you're reaching out to. So how can you expect to get anything above like a 1% meeting book rate when you're only having 4 touch points? And for most prospects out there, it takes 20 to 50 to convert them into a paying client. How can you expect to get those results when you're only doing 4 touch points? You physically cannot generate those results. And, as I say, going back to this example here, right, going from 0 to 10K per month, 0 to 10K per month, you can probably do this because you only need, as I say, 3 clients, maybe 5 clients to go to 10K a month, maybe 5 clients, right? Probably more, anywhere from, 3 to 4. That's probably the average range that I see, right? Inside of Quantum Leap and whatnot, my program that takes people from 0 to 10,000 a month with their agency, this works tremendously well because you get to 10,000 a month because they only need 3, 4, maybe 5 clients. This works well. To go to 100,000 a month, you need slightly more clients than that. And you physically cannot do a 4-part email sequence. So what should you do? How do you combat this? Well, first of all, we got the 4 parts, right? So we got the 4-part email sequence. Now, if somebody goes through this entire sequence and they do not respond, now bear in mind, if you're inside of Centurion Agency, you guys have got obviously all of the automatic processes with Zapier and Close.io that will obviously be set up in the back end, which kind of does all this automatically. And if it doesn't do it automatically, it's all funneled down inside of the views inside of Close and whatnot. It's all done for you, right? Now, if you're interested in Centurion Agency, go ahead and click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to a booking page. You can schedule in a call with myself. And if it looks like you're a good fit, we'll hop on the call and I'll kind of just go through exactly what you need to do to ramp up your agency. As I said in one of my previous videos, and literally every single Centurion Agency call that I have, just that first, it's completely, obviously it's entirely free. Literally everybody who hops on that call are just gobsmacked by the amount of information and whatnot that they can take away, whether they move forward or not, right? They're gobsmacked with the amount of information that they take away. And some people have even offered me a testimonial for the program just from that one call. So there's literally nothing that you can lose. The only way that you're going to lose is by not booking in a call. Now, it's only for, if you're below 5,000 a month with your agency, I won't book in a call because it's not going to be worth it for you. However, if you're 5,000 a month or above with your agency, go ahead and book in a call. I promise you, it will be like the best 45 minutes that you'll probably ever spend on your agency. And I know a lot of people say that's kind of like a go-to line, but book in a call and tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong, and I won't say that again. But I guarantee you that, I guarantee you'll be blown away by kind of how deep we go. It's not really a sales call. I mean, obviously, it's to see if you're a good fit for Centurion Agency, but it's also about just seeing where you're at and seeing what's stopping you from ramping up. So go ahead, click that first link in the description. It's going to take you to booking a call. Now, my point is in saying that, right? In Centurion Agency, we got this entire thing all automated. Now, either way, if somebody goes through your 4-part email sequence, right, and they don't respond, whether they open it or not, whatever, they don't respond. These prospects are still great prospects to hit up, right, in the back end. So save these leads. Okay, now again, I use Close.io. It's what everybody inside the Centurion Agency uses as well, because it just is the best thing on earth when you know how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, I do not recommend getting it because it's going to be absolutely useless to you, and it's going to cost you an arm and a leg for it to do absolutely nothing. But when you know how to use it properly, it is the best thing on earth. So save the leads, hit them up again in the back end. 2 months later, put them back through. right? And you should have automation set up where when they reply, they automatically get taken out of the list where it's like, you know, they don't reply, right? You're gonna have a non-replied list who have been touched, but they've not replied. And then you're gonna have like another list where it's like, we call it a working booked call list. It's a working book call list. Now, everybody who replies automatically gets injected into the working book call list, and you work them to book in a call, right? Now, everybody who doesn't reply automatically gets injected into just this save lead list. I just call it the lem list, right? And then as soon as somebody replies to the automatic emails that you send to this list, as I say, they go straight into the working book call. So they're being touched. You're having a multitude of touch points with these leads. You're not just taking them through a simple 4-part email sequence, then saying, oh no, this isn't a good fit, right? Everybody in the agency space is doing this right now, and it is the one thing that is crushing your growth. Seriously, guys, this is crushing your growth. So that's that right at the top. If they don't reply, you put them into, you save the lead, you export the lead, you put it into a separate column inside of Close or whatever it is that you use, and you automatically inject them into your working book call list when they do reply via your one-off campaigns, right? Because you're going to have this initial 4-part sequence, and then you're going to want to send extra external campaigns to this list to get them to reply or whatever it is. Now, the people who do reply, obviously, whatever email they reply in, they automatically go into this working book call list, right? Now, as I said before, some people are going to, I think I said it back on here, right? Some people are going to, even if your CTA is to book in a direct call, some people aren't going to do that. They're going to come straight to here and they're going to reply, right? And so they're going to be saying whatever it is. They're going to ask more digging questions. They're going to want to see a bit more case studies, background, whatever it is, right? They want to figure out if it's a good fit before they book in a call. That's completely fine. It's not super ideal, but it's completely fine. Now, the reason this is so powerful is because those leads go automatically into this working book call list. So now yourself, or if you've got team on board, obviously if you're in Centurion Agency, obviously we build up SDRs. Those SDRs just run through that list. They just run through that list every day. They go into the CRM. You go to that list, well, they go through other steps first. You always start the most the warmest leads, and you go through. Aside from the point, they go to that list. Eventually, they get to that working book call list, and they run through that list. Because that's people who have opted in, right? Maybe they're not physically giving their name or email, but they've replied that they're interested, they want to know more. Also, maybe some people, everybody always gets the issue of like, what do you do if a prospect isn't a good fit right now, but you know that they're not entirely closed off? Well, again, inside your CRM, you need to set tasks. And then obviously on a daily basis, if a task from 3 months ago is now today, you reach back out to them. You're on top of these leads no matter what they say, you are on top of these leads. Unless they say, like, go away in so many nice words, right? Unless they say that, you want to hit these leads up as much as you can until they either book in a call or they say some nasty stuff, right? Who cares if they say some nasty stuff? Doesn't matter. You just kick them out of your CRM. You don't hit them up again. You move on, right? But that's the only time you move on. You do not move on if somebody just doesn't reply to your 4-part email sequence, because by no means does that mean that they're not interested, right? It's got nothing to do with that. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, which I'm not going to go too much into detail about, but you need to also have different stuff in your emails that sends them out and gets them to go through your deep back-end funnel. You need to have a deep back-end funnel, right? Book call, right? Book call, maybe your CTA, but don't just have these links in your emails. Have links out to resources, have links out to your homepage, to your sales page, obviously to your book call page, have stuff going out to your blog, to your case studies, right? Because not only is this going to fuel the 7-hour rule, which is a super important part to convert a lead. Again, that's another reason why the typical 4-part email sequence is never going to work, because it doesn't have any prospects interact with your business for like 3 minutes, where on average, it takes a prospect 7 hours, or it takes 7 hours worth of interaction from the prospect's end with your agency or your business or your company, whatever it is, in order for them to convert. 4 emails gets nothing. It gets like maybe 4 minutes in, right? Again, that's another reason why 4-part email sequence, just that alone, to get to 100,000 a month is fundamentally flawed. And it's the number one reason so many people are struggling. So have these links out to your other sales pages, because if you set it up correctly, again, Centurion Agency, this is exactly what we build out, at least just for the client acquisition front, which is just like a very small sector of the entire program itself. Anyway, we build out a deep back-end funnel, because to be honest, that's where meetings booked come through. It's through the back-end funnel, because then they are equipped with the 5, 6, 7 hours of content, then they know who you are. They know, like, and trust you. You hop on the call and you pretty much just make sure that it's a good fit, and you don't really need to do any selling, right? And then when you couple that with a ridiculous sales process anyway, even though you don't technically need to do selling, you still have a ridiculously powerful sales process. 100,000 a month is so easy. It's so easy, right? If you do this stuff correctly. So I wanted to drill that point in this video. Obviously, it goes a lot deeper in terms of, the back end, deepened sales funnel, the way that you go about, your processes in terms of close, and your working book close list, and you're zapping in leads here and there depending on where they're at. You're segmenting that out, right? Inside of close, depending on or whatever your CRM is, right? You're segmenting those leads out, and it's automated as well, because you don't want to be doing this stuff manually, because when you start to ramp up, right, and you're in KPI, you're going to be getting a lot of meetings booked, you're going to be getting a lot of replies, you're going to be getting a lot of interaction. There is no physical way anybody could do that manually or handle that manually and still be getting every single book call that they possibly could. They're going to be leaving 70% of the potential clients on the table because they can't keep up with it. So you need to automate. I would say like 90% we've got automated right now. Some of it has to be manual, but yeah, my point is you need to start thinking from a more full-bodied approach with your client acquisition in order to get past 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month with your agency. Not so much 5,000. You can get from 0 to 10,000 using the typical 4-part email sequence. I did it. A lot of people in Quantum Leap do it, because that's the goal of that program, is to get to 10,000 a month. But to get anything past that, like, you need a far more full-bodied approach to your client acquisition. Otherwise, you're just going to get pushed in with all the other agencies, and you're just, as I said before, 20 to 30,000 a month is going to be your hard cap. So start thinking in this way. It's going to massively help you. And if you're interested in hearing more about Centurion Agency, go ahead, book in your call below. It's the first link in the description. And as I say, I'm almost certain you're going to be wanting to give me a testimonial just for that call. A lot of people have already said that to me, and a lot of other people have heard me talk about it, and they're like, yeah, I totally understand why people would want to give you a testimonial. This is ridiculous, because we pretty much just strip back your entire agency, see what you're doing wrong, how you can change it, and literally going ahead and implementing on it and changing it. And then obviously if you join Centurion Agency, it's kind of game over at that point anyway. So I hope you found value in this video. If you are at 5,000 or more a month with your agency and you're wanting to seriously ramp up, as I say, book in your Centurion Agency call below. And with that being said, as I mentioned before, I hope you found value in this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.